Okay, boys and girls, now we are continuing to read stories about our country. And today we're going to be reading a story about the Statue of Liberty. Now I know that we read a small leveled reader about the Statue of Liberty, but we're going to be reading another story about the Statue of Liberty. And this one is called, Why is the Statue of Liberty Green? And so we're going to be learning some very interesting facts about the Statue of Liberty. Who here has been to the Statue of Liberty? Oh, no one has been to it. So we're going to be learning a little bit about it, yes. Your parents have been to it, but you haven't been to it. So we're going to be learning some interesting facts about it. So here's what I want you to do. You have got your vocab sheet. So we're going to learn some interesting words that are from our story that we need to know. So let's look. We have got a sheet, and we're going to be writing a definition, and then we're going to have time to draw a picture to go with our words, okay? So the first word that we have there is the word ferry. You see the word ferry, F-E-R-R-Y, ferry. And here's a picture of that word, ferry. Now, ferry is a noun. Here's a picture of a ferry. Now, a ferry, and I'm going to write it down, and then you'll write it down as well. A ferry is a boat that takes people or vehicles across a river or waterway. So don't write it until I write it. Okay? So we already have our word, and so ferry. Oops. So we have the word ferry. And so a ferry, and it's a noun because it's a thing, it is a boat that takes people now make sure you're writing small enough so it all fits. Or vehicles. Boys and girls, vehicles, who knows what a vehicle is? What do I mean when I say a vehicle? What's a vehicle? Anastasia, what's a vehicle?
A car.
A car. So it could take like a car. Vehicles across a river or waterway. So you have to write small to fit all this. But we're in 3rd grade, so we can do that. Okay? And here is my example sentence, which I'll read when everybody's done writing, when it's pencils down. Now, we're not going to draw pictures yet, so don't draw a picture yet, because I'm going to give you time to work on it when we're done writing all of our definitions. So here is our example sentence, because it's always helpful to hear an example sentence. The best part of our family vacation was the ride on the ferry. Yes?
And there's just something breaking.
Okay. That's okay. She's okay. She's catching up. Has anybody here been on a ferry before? Oh, Teddy, where were you on a ferry?
I think we were in Disney.
In Disney. Okay, they may have ferries there. Yes.
I was at Disney too when I rode a ferry.
And you rode a ferry at Disney. Yes.
I was at Panama Beach.
At Panama Beach. Yes, they have ferries there. Yes, so Lisa.
At Disney World.
Okay, very good. Yes. Some places have a ferry. You might go to an island, and to get to the island, you may have to take a ferry to get to the island. Okay? A ferry. And so here is an example of a ferry. Oh, the ferry has a name, and it's called Miss Gateway. That's the ferry. Okay? So ferry. Now here is our next word. Our next word, oh, look at this, is torch. Torch. A torch is a noun because it is a thing. And a torch, don't write until I write it, is a long stick with a flame at one end that may be used for light or to start a fire. That is what a torch is. A torch. Okay? And here I'll read the sentence right now. The flaming torch was held high in the air. Torch. So we're gonna write our definition of a torch. So it is a long stick remember, we have to write small, with a flame at one end. That's all we're going to write. So that is a torch. And so you can use a torch to light to start a fire, okay? And you could use a torch for light. Has anybody seen a torch anywhere? Where would you see a torch? Yes, Avery.
Is it cold outside in Antarctica?
Oh, Antarctica, you think might have torches? They could. Logan?
Yeah, doesn't the Statue of Liberty hold a torch?
She does, she holds a torch.
It's not lighted.
But there's a torch. It is a torch, but it's not one that's got like a real fire to it, but she does have a torch. Where else do you see a torch, Thomas?
I know facts about the Statue of Liberty.
Yes.
I think it's true. The Statue of Liberty takes a huge electric bill because the torch is lighted by light.
Okay. Yes, I don't know what the bill is. Yes, Jensen.
I remember watching the movie Lilo and Stitch, and in Hawaii sometimes they do torches and they like do tricks with torches.
Oh, they do tricks with their torches. Yes. Ivy.
Oh yeah, I saw like maybe like a commercial. I think it was like an American Got Talent. There was this guy flipping torches all around.
Yes. Hey, does anybody have like those tiki torches for their backyard that you light? Those are torches. And then you put like the citronella in them so you to deter mosquitoes. Anybody have those, Mikey?
I don't have my that far, but I've definitely been to my dad's friend's house that definitely has it.
Yeah, so those are torches too. So those are a torch. So here's an example of a type of torch. Remember, there could be different types of torches. So here's a type of a torch. Teddy?
When I was at Hawaii, there was a show where these people were throwing torches around.
Oh, how exciting. Were you worried that they were going to drop a torch or touch a torch? No? You had
They
confidence.
did, but nothing happened.
Nothing happened. Exciting. So you saw torches in action.
Yeah, because they're fire resistant.
Okay, here's our next word. Oh, here's a good word. Here is a word. Look at this word, boys and girls. Sculptor. A sculptor is a noun because a sculptor is an artist who uses stone, wood, or metal to make a work of art. A sculptor. Maybe some of you will grow up to be a sculptor. Maybe. You never know. Maybe some of you will be an artist when you grow up, and this will be your medium. So here's the sentence. Everybody be a good listener. The sculptor worked very hard to create a beautiful stone statue for the new park. Sculptor. So, let's write sculptor. Oh, you don't have to write it. I do though. Sculptor. Okay? And that is an artist who uses stone, wood, or metal to make a work of art. So, sculptor. Yes.
You have to add an S to uses.
To what word?
Uses.
Who uses, yes. Sorry, who uses. There, snuck it in. Thank you. Okay. Did you put that in there? Stone wood. You're not done. And you can see that this artist in this picture is using stone to sculpt that. Can you see that? And here's our sentence. The sculptor worked very hard to create a beautiful stone statue for the new park.
He's thinking of sitting on the rock.
Yes, he's thinking. He's thinking about how cool it is to be a sculptor. That's what he's thinking about.
He's thinking about going to get deep.
Yeah.
And put it on top of the tree. They should put Shakespeare.
Okay. Now here is our next word. Monument. That is also a noun. Monument. So a monument is a large statue or building that honors an important person or event in history. So it is a statue or building that honors an important person or event in history, and that's a monument. And so here's our example sentence. We like to walk under the monument in the park. Has anybody ever seen any monuments or heard about any monuments? What ones have you heard of, Kelsey? That is a monument. Yes. What other ones have you heard of? What other ones have you heard of? Olive.
The Washington Monument.
The Washington Monument. Who does that honor?
George Washington.
George Washington. And why would he have a monument?
Because he was the first president of the United States.
He was the first president. What other monuments have you heard of? Anastasia.
I've actually seen a monument.
Yes, where have you seen a monument?
In first grade, we actually went and took a picture by the Walt Disney Monument in Disneyland.
Oh yes, there's a monument to Walt Disney. Yes. Thomas.
Okay, so Anastasia said.
Yes, the Washington Monument. Teddy.
I think Mount Rushmore is a monument?
It definitely is a monument. It definitely is. There's 4 presidents on it, yes.
I have seen Lincoln Memorial, Washington Monument, and a couple more that I don't remember.
There are a lot in Washington, D.C. It's just filled with monuments and memorials. You can just go and see lots and lots of them. It's a fascinating place to go. Yes, Mikey.
I'm pretty sure Washington, I think it's called like the Tall Tower. Or like a tall tower, like the white tall tower. Yeah, kind of like that over there. George and Bush.
It's a bell tower?
I think so.
I'd have to think on that.
I think it's
But there are some bell towers that are monuments. Yes.
we were going on like a trip for summer, and I actually saw the Mount Rushmore.
Oh yes, Mount Rushmore is very cool
But
and
Abraham
impressive.
Lincoln's nose is about to fall off.
Oh, is it about to fall off?
Yeah.
I hadn't heard that. Yanni.
The Lincoln Memorial.
Yes, the Lincoln Memorial. Very good. Okay, so let's write that. So we're going to write monument, or monument, as I keep forgetting, is already there. We don't have to write it. Monument. And so we are going to write the definition. And that is a large statue or building, because sometimes they're buildings, that honors an important person or event in history. Okay? So let's put that down, boys and girls. Okay? And now, boys and girls, flip your page over, and we have one more word. We have the word inspired. No, I had enough. Thank you. Yeah, we have one for everybody. Inspired. Inspired. Oh, inspired is a verb. Now, if an idea or action inspired you, it made you want to do something. So if you felt inspired, it makes you want to do something. So here's an example sentence, and that will help you. After meeting him, I was inspired to become a fireman. Yes. Oh, I'm sorry. There you go. Inspired. Does anybody ever feel inspired by anything? Yes, Ivy.
Oh, I feel inspired. Remember when I watch videos and stuff, I always want to do it.
Yeah, you feel inspired when you watch something. It makes you want to do that thing. Teddy.
When I was in kindergarten, I was inspired to be a policeman.
Yes, what inspired you to do that?
I like the color blue.
Oh, you like the color blue. Yes, very inspirational. Very cool. You might hear someone talk about something, and then that inspires you. You feel inspired by them. Somebody might give a talk, and it really touches you in a way, and you feel inspired by that. Very good, right? Libby? Yes, you'll feel inspired. Okay, so let's go and let's get our definition of inspired. An idea or action makes you want to do something. This is the time of year when people feel inspired to do things because it's the start of a new year. Okay, now here's what I'm going to have you do. I'm going to give you a little bit of time to draw a picture to go with each of your words. And I'm going to give you enough time that you should be able to draw and color. Draw and color, okay? So you may begin that now, boys and girls.